There had been some references made to a potential federal complaint against Kat that was made by a resident. We know of at least one federal lawsuit, but was there another federal complaint or ADA complaint that's being referenced?
There are two different things you're talking about, all right? When you're talking about the federal complaints, you got a federal lawsuit, all right? Then you got federal complaints. We have been able to get information from the federal folks. There are 12 different complaints, all right, that deals with the ADA, all right, and deal with paratransit. And that's what caught our eye because the county pays for paratransit totally, besides the federal monies that come for CAT. So the complaints are there, and then the federal lawsuits are there. There's two different things.
Gotcha. Thank you for the clarification. There's a lot of accusations being thrown around, and the CAT board that was established by the state is, obviously upset by the proposition of Chatham County pulling their funding from CAT. Why did you feel that this is the move that needs to be made?
Well, let me say this. House Bill 756 and House Bill 615 were put in the last legislative session. The day that they were put in and we found out about it, we wrote to all our legislative delegation and we wrote to our lobbyists who work for us to let us know. And we wrote to them to tell them that it was unlawful for them to do that because House Bills 615 and 756 are bill of attainers, which is against the state constitution and the federal constitution. They dropped 615 totally, all right? But they pressed forward with something that they knew were illegal, something that they knew was unconstitutional. And so what that did with the county was we consulted with our attorneys and put it together. And so what you see coming out for it now is what the county has decided and given the attorneys the authority to do and to act on behalf of the county. Because they both are two things. First of all, they're a bill of attainder. 756 is a bill of attainder. Second, the county has what they call home rule, because those are local things and local authorities. And so the county has jurisdiction over that. So what you saw us do, all right, was to make amendments to those which are lawful, which are in the courts now, okay? The very first time we told them that it was a bill of attainder. When we went to court, the judge didn't rule on the law. He ruled on the standards. And he said the county didn't have the standards. Well, the Supreme Court came right behind him and said the county does have the standards. So that's why there was an appeal to the Supreme Court, all right? Now they're saying the procedure. Second time we were around, folks are talking about the procedure. We did follow procedure, okay? But the board that's an unconstitutional board to be put together, all right? And let me say, this is being driven by a member of the Chamber of Commerce, the hospitality, all right, as well as a employee of the city of Savannah. Those are the folks who are behind this whole thing. And it's not that power struggle for the county, because the county is responsible for public transportation in the county. And what I want you all to know, and that's why I'm here talking now, is that we do have a plan. And the plan has been successful when we had to put the police department back together. It has been successful when we put the fire department back together. And so what you will see now is that staff, along with the legal team, are working, and then after that, they will make a presentation to the board, to the county commission board, through a workshop. After that, we will do public hearings. But the county has to stand up because the people who are trying to control public funds are non-elected officials. All right, they haven't been elected by anybody, so therefore, how would they give accountability? Those funds were given to this county commission. Every 4 years, you could elect county commissioners, you could elect folks in the municipalities to handle funds, and now you have these unelected folks who want to take over public funds that honestly should be under the jurisdiction of the county.
So it sounds like you guys are talking about creating another separate county-run entity. Do you think that it's more detrimental to the riders of Chatham County to have to go through that process to establish something new than, waiting to work out the legal end or trying to work with what's available now?
The answer to your question in short is no. We never miss a beat when we put the police department back together. We never miss a beat when we put the fire department back together. We won't miss a beat here, all right? If it takes the county establishing its own public transportation, then it takes what it takes, all right? Those folks now who are trying to control public funds have no authority, all right? They don't have to be accountable to anybody, all right? And when we started to do the research, and you notice for a long time I would answer no questions, all right, because I need facts. And everything I give you is a fact. We went back to 2017 and pull up facts that the mayor's, Van Johnson, put out, all right, as concerning the service, the level of service that CAT was producing for the county, all right. And then we started to work this way, and we found out, for instance, the ferry service, all right. The ferry service was not being funded since 2018. Ms. Stephanie Cutter stood right before us in June of this year and said she had been working with CAT since 2021, all right, and no monies have been paying. So who was paying for the ferry service? Tourists don't pay because it's free. Workers who go on the island and come back who need that service, it was free to them. So therefore, the money had to come from somewhere, all right? So listen, I'm not getting into a word game. I'm not getting into the tit or the tat, but the Chatham County Commission is responsible for public transportation here, not the state legislators, all right? Not our delegation. It is the responsibility of the county. And for them to go and to work on a plan where we'd have to give monies to private citizens to do public things with is totally wrong. Totally wrong, all right? Got yours?
Yeah, thank you.
Your question.
I just want to go back to a question that
Sure.
Evan asked you earlier in the week
Mhm.
about, you said there was a consensus among the board
Mm-hmm.
about the letter that was sent to
Mhm.
that board. Could you tell me when that consensus was reached and how it was reached?
All right. Go back to when this whole thing first started. We gave our attorneys permission to give us the steps that we needed to follow,
Right.
the game plan. When the attorneys came back and gave us the game plan, all right, we came into consensus, and then we also gave them the authority from the floor,
Right.
all right? It's in, if you look at, go
Well,
back,
Chairman,
you find it in our action calendar, all right, where they were given the authority. The letter that you saw out is a part of the attorney's work product.
But wait, you wrote it on behalf of the other members of the commission? That's
No,
what it
I didn't write
says.
anything.
The wording in the first sentence, on the behalf, you're writing on behalf of the commission, members of the commission.
That's because if you look at the,
So
if
the
you,
con-
hold
Go
on.
ahead, sir.
That's because if you look at the Enabling Act, the chairman
Right.
is the spokesman for the county commission, all right? So when I say I'm speaking on behalf of the, I have their consensus. There
Did
were,
you have a consensus on this issue?
Yes.
Sending it? 3 of the commissioners say they weren't contacted before.
no, the only commissioner who said that is
that's-
Commissioner Noah, was not present at the last meeting when the attorney said that this is the letter we're preparing, and when we prepared, the chairman's gonna sign it and send it. He was not, only one not here. There's no other commissioner who can say they were not in the room, because they were in the room,
They were in the room during public session,
doing public session, doing private, doing, now,
not during
there are
executive
two,
session.
listen, in executive session, what happens in executive session stays in the executive session, all right?
But you know that the open meetings law requires that certain issues taken up, policy issues, are to be taken up in public.
Not
in
litigation.
executive session.
Not litigation, not personnel.
Well, this wasn't litigation, you were saying.
This is a part of our attorney's work product.
Okay,
This is.
I hear
So
you.
that means it's executive session, all right? You can try to separate it all you want.
I'm just trying to
Right?
understand.
It's just like the rest of them.
I'm just following up on what my
Right.
colleague.
It's
asked.
just like the rest. Well, I'm telling you,
Okay,
all
I
right?
hear you.
The consensus was among the commissioners for the attorney to go ahead and do what he was going to do. All right. So he presented me with the letter. I sent the letter to all of the commissioners. All right. After I was sure that all of them had the letter.
You sent it
Then-
after you sent it to the CAT board.
No, that's not what I did.
Okay, I'm just.
What
trying
I
to
did
clarify.
was the attorneys prepared the letter. I read the letter. I signed it. We sent it to all the commissioners. Then we sent it to the CAT board.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah, so I understand, listen, I understand this game of trying to make Chester Ellis the bad guy, all right? But Chester Ellis is the chairman and CEO of Chatham County, who is responsible for those public funds.
I hear
And
you.
we're gonna be held accountable. And so it starts here. So now, here's the process going on. The letter's gone, all right? The staff and I will get together. We will take, and I can say this to you as I stand here now, we've had 8 inquiries as to our public service, as well as our paratransit service. All right. The staff and I will work together to do that, to get that together. Then we will present it to the board. After the board, then we will have town hall meetings or workshops that will be public. But here are commissioners who can come in here now and tell you, we did discuss it, and we did.
Okay.
The letter was not sent wholeheartedly by me. This is not a one-man show,
Okay.
all right?
Just to clarify, because your letter and then your comments during the news conference on Wednesday or Thursday morning, are you talking about setting up a system to replace just paratransit, or are you talking about setting up a system for an entire new parallel transit system for Chatham County?
If that's what it comes to, that's what it comes to.
Which
All right.
part?
Both
Latter part?
parts. We have to take a list. Again, let me say it. This county commission is responsible for public transportation. That's in the Constitution.
That's correct.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in order to provide service for everybody, public transportation for everybody, okay? Because what is happening now is that you have communities at a disadvantage. Go back to 2022, when the CEO of CAT cut services in half and left out folks, all right? They gave free shuttle service to some, and they're making others pay for it. That's not fair. That's not correct, and that's not what we stand for, all right? So that's what we mean when we're taking it,
Okay.
all right?
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay. Anything else? Did I get all your questions? All right?
Can I catch you on the side? I have one thing that involves personal stuff.
Personal stuff?
Well, it involves somebody else, and I don't want to take it up in front.
Oh, okay, all right.
You
Y'all
guys
go,
wanna talk as well?
y'all
Yeah,
go
we
with
would
that, or
like
y'all
to.
want?
Mr. Chairman,
Come on.
before you go with,
yeah.
Mr. Lee,
Yeah,
You may want to stick around.
yeah.
Who are you with?
With the current.
You might want to stick around a second.
I stick around, but I have to ask the chairman a question.
No, listen,
This might be
I'm waiting
bigger
on you.
news.
Okay,
Go ahead and,
No, no,
come on.
I don't know who you're talking about, but it can't get much larger.
what you got?
Chairman, you probably don't want to be standing here with me,
That's all right. I'm
but
good.
I got Commissioner Farrow here that I'm not going to stand here and discuss the problems CAT has presented for a long time now. There's definitely many problems that Chatham Area Transit has. And yes, he's correct in saying things were discussed, a wide range of things were actually discussed. Getting rid of Chatham Area Transit altogether was discussed. And if it were to come to something like that, it was stated loud and clear that we wanted to have some kind of backup in place before we ever notified anyone that we wanted to terminate a contract. We, in speaking with many of the county commissioners, were not informed before this letter went out. I saw it through social media myself. And I don't know how Commissioner Farrell did, but a consensus back there is that none of us knew that letter was going out because I was not prepared. I'm not going to speak for everyone. They can speak for themselves. But I had no clue a letter like that was going out without a private service in place to assure the citizens that they would be served. So rest assured, a vote has to be taken to actually do anything around here. No vote was taken to do anything with
That's what I
regards
told
to
him.
Chatham Area
That's what I
Transit.
told him.
So there was no commission vote or no true authority or true ability given to the chairman at that time to take it upon himself to send out a letter like that. It's very possible he misinterpreted what we were trying to get across back there, but yes, there's many issues in place. We as a commission, we will do whatever's necessary to fix Chatham Area Transit, but we will provide solutions before we sink the ship.
Can you stand up a parallel transportation system in the next 6 months?
I do not know.
July 1st?
I have no idea. That's why we did not give permission to send a letter like that. We were going to check into something like that before we made such a statement.
Pat, were you aware that the letter was going out?
I was not aware that the letter went out, and my thoughts are that something of that magnitude that would shake up a bus system that's been around for decades and decades should have been a vote taken to know where each commissioner. When the letter goes out and it says the commission, I'd like a little more clarity in that there's a vote and where each commissioner stands on any particular policy. So there's discussions about lots of things that between commissioners, and but taking action, I believe, requires a public discussion and a public vote, and that was not done in this particular case. So that's.
Do you have
that's-
a reply
that's-
to
That's
these
where I
two
stand.
comments?
No, no,
They seem to basically contradict what you said.
okay.
Okay.
I stand where I stand.
Fair enough.
Mr. Chairman, why did you choose to send the letter like when you did? Why at this time?
But it's just like Commissioner Kicklighter said, from our conversation, I thought I was given authorization to do that, so I had the attorneys prepared. The attorneys were the ones who prepared the letter, and so I sent it, and I don't regret sending it. All right? Got y'all? All right, good.